Welcome to this final video in the rigging series. Going back and thinking about things, I realized there was something that I forgot to cover as far as rigging goes, and it's actually pretty important. As we see if I play the animation, something pretty important kind of disappears from the mesh, and obviously it's the eyes. Now, if we didn't want any particular control over the eyes, then all we would have to do would be to link them to the biped head, and that would be enough. See that it's going to follow it now. Okay, but odds are you're probably going to want to have some control over the eyes. You know, having maybe look over to the side, look up, down, whatever. And this is not going to be enough control. So I'm going to just hide the body for a second, and let's work on these eyes. Okay, so the first step is we see that the eyes are one object. So we need to fix that first and foremost. And I'm going to go ahead and collapse this down. Okay, I'm going to go into element, and we see here are the two elements. So let's go ahead and detach, and I'm going to call this that's actually the right, so right eye, and this one is the left eye. Okay, now a couple of things worth noting. If we rotate this eye, notice it's going to rotate correctly in itself. But this one is going to rotate from here. So what we need to do is we need to align the pivot point back over here to this side. And what I like to do for this, and we could even hide the biped for a second. Okay, so I can see that the pivot point for this guy, now notice if I hit center to object, that's not where it was over here. Okay, so I'm going to just affect the pivot, and I can see that this is pointing on the Z, the blue here is pointing straight down the middle of the eye. Okay, and it's positioned right about here. So if I move this straight across, if I move this straight across like so, that's going to be positioned the right way. All I have to do now is rotate the blue axis to where it's pointing straight down the eye, like that one is. Turn it off so we can see that one's looking that way, this one's looking this way, and if we go back, okay, so this one still rotates correctly, and now so does this one. So let's bring our biped back out. Okay, obviously this is a new object now, so it needs to also be linked to the head. Alright, now the final point is getting the control over the eyes, and there's 1,000 objects you can use for this. For this situation here, I'm just going to make it real simple, and I'm just going to use the text, and I'm going to roll this up, rotate this, and I'm going to go into my front view, and I'm going to align this guy. Notice it's centered right about there, and I'm just going to pull this out like so, and could just name it look if we wanted to. biggest thing, we want to make sure that it's centered dead in between the eyes. Okay, you could do anything. This could be a dummy object. It could be a teapot. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that it's an object. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tell our eyes to always be looking at this object. So I'll select on one of the eyes, and we'll go to Animation, Constraints, Look At Constraint, and now we have, just like the IK solver, we have this dotted line that's looking for what we want it to look at, and we see when we get here it's a viable target, so we click on that, and we see that the eye flips. We scroll down. As soon as we applied it, we immediately switch to the motion panel, and we come down. We see here we are at the Look At Constraint rollout, and we come down and we just check Keep Initial Offset. So we'll do the same thing for the other one. Constraints, Look At Constraint, scroll down, Keep Initial Offset. Okay, now let's bring out the mesh. Okay, now that the eyes, first the eyes are linked to the biped head, okay, but the so the position of the eyes are being controlled by the position and the rotation of the biped head, but the rotation of the eyes are being controlled by this guy. So as he runs through his animation, we notice that his eyes are always following or staying here, and then we can move this around. And the cool thing about this, and the reason why you want to have it kind of far away, was if we wanted to make him go cross-eyed, then we actually pull this in like that, and he can go cross-eyed. So that's why I like to leave it out here a good ways. I mean, just think of it, actually as what he is looking at, what he's going to focus on, and I like to do that in my animation. Let's say if he's going to be walking, and he's going to walk over to this object, and he's going to sit on this object. When he is supposed to be looking at this object, I will actually move this guy over to where he would be sitting. This is the area that he's looking at, whatever. And then now it looks like he's looking at it because he is. So it's just something that I like to do. Just keep the look at decent ways out in front. Of the character, because we always, because of the ability to make his eyes go cross-eyed if he's focusing too close to his face. So that was it. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. I realized that I forgot to cover that before, and wanted to make sure that I hit that. So I think this will be the last one, but now that I think about it, there is one more thing that I want to show you, and I'll do that in the next video. So I hope you got something with this. You see, we can really bring some life into this character now. So have fun. I look forward to seeing what you guys do with this, and I'll see you next time.